YouTube, it's me, Nikki. I decided I wanted to do a story time on the paranormal. I know a lot of people don't believe in the paranormal, but paranormal is real. I have been in a few situations, and I will only speak on one because I am afraid still. Well, basically, I'm going to start at the beginning where I think it began. At 13, I watched a movie called Witchboard. Okay, and it's a movie. It was about a couple. They were living, and they their friend had a Ouija board. It just sends chills down my spine just to even speak about it. But yeah, the Ouija board, you know, they brought it to a party and they decided to play with it. And the guy who it belonged to, he told them all about the rules and regulations of it. Now, for one, it's supposed to be a boy and a girl, around the same ages, and it's, you know, they had it on their lap. So, there was a big thing about the planchette, which is the thing that goes on top of the board, was moving. So you would think it's the next person moving it. No, it's really not. It's the spirit moving it. Okay. So in this movie, they're showing all this stuff and this and that. So it makes me feel like, you know, it's something wrong with me because I asked my mom for one. But Milton Bradley made it. So it's like, okay, they make Monopoly and, you know, Connect Four and all that. So I didn't think anything of it. It was $11. She got it. One day I remember we opened it, and right before the lottery number came on, me and my little brother, we are 7 years apart actually, and that was a no-no for, we were too close. We were too far apart in age. We asked it, you know, what the lottery number was, and it specifically told us what the lottery number was going to be. And as sure as I'm standing here talking to you all, that was the lottery number. If my mother would have played, I was too young. If my mother would have played, she would have won. So I'm like, wow, you know, this is real stuff, you know. Wow, scared me. No, I would say it scared me then, but what happened was it was like, wow, we're kids, so everything is astonishing to us. So, I don't know if I want to tell all the stories or not, but I have a few of them, but this one is the beginning story. So, you know, from then on, we would play, you know, me, my brother, my cousin. Me and my cousin, we were closer in age. We were 2 years apart. So, you know, but after a while, I started feeling some type of way. Like, I don't want to play this thing no more. So what happened was I ended up giving it to my cousin because I'm like, we asked it his name and it spelled out Satan. Satan. Satan, yeah. So that was all I needed to know. So I didn't really want to play anymore, and I specifically was like, you know, I don't want this. You can have it. My grandmother was like, you know, rest in peace, grandma. She was like, you know, this is the devil's mess. I don't want that in my house. So we would hide it under the couch. We would hide it under the couch, and so when my cousin left, he would take it with him. So he did, and then him and his guys would get together and play with the thing. And it's like, you are not supposed to do that. It's in the rules. Like, it's more rules, but I really don't want to get into the rules. So 3 guys playing with it. No, that's not a good idea. So what happened was, they started experiencing very paranormal things. One night I stayed overnight at my cousin's house, and me, my aunt, and my other cousin, we went out to her friend's house. It was late or whatever, and we come back at, it was so late at night. It had to be at least 2 in the morning, and we see someone down the street in their boxers, just wandering around, like, looking for somebody to come, Found out it was my cousin. Something ran him out of the house. It ran him out of the house. He said, because we cracking up, like, what are you doing, He said the ceiling fan was going around real fast. It just toilet making noises. It wouldn't stop running, and then other, and this is so much stuff, but he just kept hearing stuff, so it ran him out the house. So what happened then was, one day, him and his guys, the same 3, they were walking, and they heard footsteps behind them, and those footsteps were getting closer and closer and closer. Found out there's no one behind them. So I'm like, oh my God. So he tries to give it back. I'm like, I don't want that thing back. So he throws it out. He throws it out. And we kept the hammer under my grandmother's couch. So one day we go under there to get the hammer. Mind you, the thing is thrown out. And we go get the hammer from underneath the couch, and there goes the board. The board is back. It reappeared. Okay. I'll tell you another little portion when the board was back. It's like we couldn't get rid of the board. You can't get rid of the board. I read on YouTube, the only way is burning it, and if you burn it, and if you hear it scream or something's gonna bad happen or something. I don't know. You're always supposed to close out by saying goodbye. I said I wasn't gonna go through these rules, but I'm just saying some of them. You stay away from it. To this day, or I wouldn't even say up to recently, but don't bother it at all. Like, it's not good. It's bad, and it can make you hurt yourself as well as hurt you. I remember one particular night, me and my cousin were sitting in the living room. We had the door open, and I had the screen door locked, and the door was open. And I'm sitting there where I can look out the screen. It's dark. It's summer. It's probably around 10, and we were getting air. It's just me and him up. We're watching TV. Someone's knocking at the screen door. I take a look. No one's at the screen door. No one is at the screen door. So I automatically kicked the door closed, and my cousin looked over at me like, who was that? I was like, nobody. He was like, what? I'm like, nobody. So I closed that door, kicked it closed, locked it and everything, and we're scared now, we're like, man, we're really scared. And then another time with that board, it was me, him, and his sister, and I think my brothers. We were all in the living room, and there was like a big boom against the house, like shook the whole house. So we called my stepdad, rest in peace. We called him over to check it out. You know, thought somebody had probably threw something at the house. Found out there was nothing out there that was thrown. My grandmother had rocks in her, like where the flower bed was or whatever. There were no rocks. I mean, I'm sorry. There were nothing, like we thinking beer bottle or something was thrown. But it wouldn't shake the house. That blew me. So I'm like, we were scared again. And my cousin would have this thing where I've never had it. I'm not trying to talk it up, but it's this thing where he would have where he would be woke, but he can't scream, he can't move. He's like paralyzed or something. Have you all had that? I have never had that. I don't want it. I think it would freak me out. And his sister has had it. They'll lay there. I've heard a lot of people have had that. I don't know what it's called. She would lay there, and my grandmother's laying there. Rest in peace, grandma. I just lost my grandmother this year, at the beginning of this year, and it's not, you know. So she lays there, and she's trying to move. She's trying to holler for my grandmother. She's trying to, you know, she can't even do nothing. And it's for a few minutes. So I'm like, what is that called? And then I hear people say it's called a witch on your back or something. I'm like, I'm good. You know, I've never had that happen to me, luckily, and I don't want that to happen to me. So, yeah, those were one of my many paranormal stories. Those were most of my stories with concerning the Ouija board. That thing had us running around like a chicken with its head cut off. And we were afraid. We were really scared. And that's what we got for being hard-headed. I will say we were being hard-headed. But take it from me, do not, I repeat, do not ever buy a board. I won't even say the name no more, because it's evil, and you don't want that in your home. You don't want that in your house. So just stick with Monopoly and all that stuff. Cards, if you play cards, dominoes or whatever. Do not get a board. Don't. It's hazardous to your health. And if you're like me, I'm scary when it comes to stuff like that. I'm nervous and everything, and I'll get paranoid in a minute. So yeah. So just take it from me and don't do it. But until next time, everybody, I'm out of here. Be happy, be bright, be you, and I will see you all later.